We have three very important things we need to discuss today. But before we do that, I want to shout out Jenna with a J. You heard me, Jenna with a J. I have been following this young lady and watching her. She's very humorous, warm, funny. And I saw her today at a coffee shop. Believe it or not, you think all this time, you can go months, years, and watching someone, enjoying them, listening to their stories and listening to them sharing, getting to know them virtually. Like, you feel like you know them a little bit. And today I saw her out at the coffee shop. I was on purpose, and saw her, and I said, oh my goodness, God, thank you. I really appreciate when you remind me that you are in control of all the things. And all I have to do is just keep walking and take my steps. And they were ordered today, and I got to meet a beautiful soul who I am forever connected to. And she said, you know, Jamie, sometimes when you're doing content, you may switch up the places, location, but just talk to me like you talking to me on FaceTime, because sometimes that's the way that we need to receive information. So today, instead of being scripted, how normally I like to do, I'm going to just kind of talk to y'all from the place of, I need you just to be thinking about, is what I'm saying make sense? And if it does, I just need you to take inventory and do something about your finances, your wealth, your life, if you need to make the change. Whether you use me as a financial advisor or someone that looks like you or not, just get one, because it makes a difference. We have a therapist for our brain, right? For our mental health. We have a dentist for our teeth, because we can't see everything that's going on back there. You have a doctor for lungs, heart surgery. So how do you have a coach or a professional, all these other areas in your life, but you don't have one when it comes to your money? Think about that. So anyway, as we get into it, again, shout out with Gina with a J. Shout out to Gina with a J. The very first thing I want to talk about, there are no guarantees. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say that? What am I talking about? So you were told to go to school. You were told to get good grades and then graduate. You did it all the way up to high school. That was 12th grade. Plus, if you was in kindergarten and pre-K like me, you did another extra 4 years. So you did 16 years in. You did 16-year bid, right? Now, you're going to work for 40 years. And then when you retire, the Social Security that everybody is banking their money on is 40%. Predicted 40% of what already was not enough. And because you really weren't supposed to live but 20 years, you was only going to have that from 65 to 85. Maybe. But what if you live to 90? What if you live to 95? I talked to a lady today was in her 90s, and she was fussing and cussing just like a sailor. She's got another 10 good years left in her probably. So if there's no guarantee for Social Security, will you have that for your retirement? Maybe or maybe not. The retirement leg, when you think about it, it was not just one leg. You have Social Security, you had your savings, and then you had maybe a pension. So you had maybe 2, 3, or 4 legs. If y'all think about this is what your table is sitting upon. But if you were supposed to have 4 legs, and you don't have Social Security because something happens to it, and you don't have a 401k at your job, right? Now you got 2 legs. Now you could stand on 2 legs, maybe. It just depends on what kind of table you have. But if you don't have enough savings, then what happens? Do you think this table is going to be able to stand? Maybe not. I don't know. But you have to think about your Social Security from that perspective. So when someone says, oh, I got a guaranteed pension. Do y'all understand when companies go bankrupt, the pension funds sometimes go bankrupt? When companies go bankrupt, sometimes the 401k goes bankrupt. So you have to be planning You got to be planning at all times. Now, we hope for the best. Oh my goodness, my company's doing good. Their stock is up. Our 401k is doing good. Our shares are, investors are doing things. We're profitable last year. The last 10 years, we've been a profitable company. That's great. We're hoping for the best. But we must prepare for the worst. You have to. You have to plan as if the end is near at all times. So this is why you constantly have to be saving. You constantly have to be investing. You constantly have to be cutting back. You got to be managing that at all times because anything can happen at any time. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not telling you what I heard. As a 2-time breast cancer survivor, I want you to understand your life drastically changes before your deductible is met. If you have a medical issue, you got $13,000 out of pocket, you're paying that $13,000 before the 80-20 or the 70-30 or the 60, whatever the difference is that the insurance is whatever the co-insurance is going to be paying. You have to be preparing at all times because anything can happen. So the very first thing, there are no guarantees, okay? So please don't tell your advisor, oh, I have a pension and I'm going to be good. You're part of a company that has a pension. And there are people that may be getting a pension. But if you've not started taking your pension, you may not even get it. You don't know. There's no guarantee. Social Security may or may not be here. Your company's 401k may or may not be accessible to you when you get ready to retire. It depends on what is happening. So y'all don't think about the guarantees. Think about, how do I plan in the event that the worst can happen? Okay. The second thing, number 2, CITs. Do y'all know what a CIT is? Does anybody out there know what a CIT is? A collective investment trust. Now think about it. Think about a collective investment trust like this. Say there is a private country club and you want to be in the country club, and they say, okay, everybody wants to be in the country club. Come on, y'all come be a part of this country club. And you put your money into the country. You put your money into this country club fund because you want to be in the country club. And then you say, I'm curious. What are y'all doing? What y'all doing back there? Because y'all said that I could get my money and I can come in, but I only get to come in this entrance right here. I don't get to see what's happening back there. So they're like private investments that they're not necessarily backed by SEC regulations. A lot of times they are private investments. So why is that important? You can be investing your 401k money, your investment monies, your Roth IRA money, the monies that you have entrusted a fund manager or a company to manage for you on your behalf into a collective investment trust. And I know it because it just depends on what the transparency is in your particular portfolio. What do I mean by this? Right now, if you have a 401k or you have a Roth IRA, if you have a Roth IRA or a 401k, do you know what stocks or what companies you are invested in? If the answer to that is no, then you need to find out. You need to ask your fund manager. You need to ask your plan manager. You need to ask your investment advisor, what companies am I invested in? If they hum and ha, if they don't give you a direct answer, if they say, oh, you don't got to worry about that, I got it, you need to take inventory. And you may need to consider making a change. Why is that important? Because would you feel a certain type of way if your money was invested in companies or stocks that were not protected or that had not been verified or even research or due diligence had been done on those companies? Would you feel a certain type of way about it? Maybe you would. Maybe you don't care. But this is one of the things that you need to look into. There's about $3 trillion plus in collective investment trusts right now that are funded by 401ks. Did you hear what I said? For $3 trillion worth plus, funded by 401ks. Now there's a group of people, the whole group together collectively spends about $3 trillion a year. Y'all know what group I'm talking about. That's a lot of money. So it's possible your 401k isn't one of those. Do the research, ask the questions. If you don't get your answers to your questions, or you don't get one that satisfies you, then maybe you need to make a change. We have got to become informed on what we are putting our money in. We've got to be informed on where our money is going. You can have high morals, high values, and your money can be going into funds that which you would not necessarily buy or purchase if you had known. So that's why you have to ask these questions. So number one, we said there are no guarantees, right? 4 legs to a table for your retirement. You need to know how many you have. And if you don't have 4 or 3 or 2, you need to do something about that. Number 2 is CIT, collective investment trusts. Is your 401k or your Roth IRA, is it invested in one? If you don't know, you need to find out. And the last thing we're talking about, number 3 thing today. If you turn 59 this year, or 59 and a half, this year, we're in June. If this year you are 59 or you turn 59 and a half this year, I'm going to ask you one question. I'm going to say it again. If you are 59, if you turn 59 this year, if you turn 59 and a half this year, if you are now 59 and a half, and you knew that this year would end like 2008, how much of your important money would you want to have protected? If that's you and you don't have an advisor, you don't have a planner, you don't have a financial advisor planner, click the link in my bio and book a call. Because if you are 59, if you turn 59, if you're 59 and a half, you turn 59 and a half this year, you need to find a place to protect your important money. Until next time, y'all, be safe. Make sure that you do the things that's necessary to protect yourself. You do the things that's necessary to understand where your money is going. And you do the things to make sure that you can retire wealthy. Because women do retire wealthy. The question is, will you? See you soon.